Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final press conference for The Last Dance. A great night of championship boxing to be held this Saturday, February 8th, from Co-op Live in Manchester, England. It is all being brought to you by Frank Warren on behalf of Queensberry Promotions, along with their great sponsors, Riyadh Season, 32 Red, That Prize Guy, and Unibet. It will be shown live in the UK on TNT Sports and in other parts of the world on DAZN beginning at 6:30 p.m. UK time. If you can't join us at Co-op Live, tickets can be purchased through Ticketmaster by going to ticketmaster.co.uk. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's now welcome the participants of part one of two press conferences here today. Let's first welcome from Albania, Nathan Hysa. From Swadland Coat, Derbyshire, Zak Parker. From Manchester, Zak Miller. From Islington, London, Supermass, Masood Abdullah. From Morecambe, Reese, the Raging Bull Macmillan. From Manchester, Jack Demolition Man Rafferty. Coming to us from France, Sofiane Kati. From Stoke-on-Trent, Nathan the Hitman Heaney. International Boxing Hall of Fame promoter, Mr. Frank Warren of Queensberry Promotions. Yay. And now here is your host, Mr. Dev Sani.
Hello, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Manchester. We are now just hours away from a huge night of championship boxing on Saturday night at the incredible new Co-op Live. And it's a big, momentous occasion. It's an occasion that you won't forget. One of British boxing's national treasures, Derek Chisora, has his final fight in the UK. He takes on the very tough and very tricky Otto Wallin. We'll speak to Frank very shortly. He'll give us an update on tickets, but I understand it's done very, very well. We're expecting a huge crowd at the Co-op Live and a huge audience watching live in the UK and Ireland on TNT Sports and around the world on DAZN. And what that means with that platform is that we've got a supporting cast here of fighters who are looking to show that they too can dance on the big stage. They too can steal the headlines, perhaps, for Derek Chisora's last dance. We've got fighters here in championship fights looking to prove a point and make their mark. As Thomas Schreiber pointed out, we'll be live from 6:30 on Saturday night, and there are still a handful of tickets on sale via Ticketmaster. Let's start with Hall of Fame boxing promoter Frank Warren, who is making this show happen. Frank will, of course, speak about Derek Chisora and Otto Wallin very shortly, but this undercard, it's stacked, and it's a big, big show on Saturday.
It's a great show. Well, first of all, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us. This is a fabulous card, no doubt about it, in a world-class arena. Co-op Arena is the best venue by far in Europe, no doubt about that. And this card is just going to be brilliant. Very competitive fights throughout, and obviously we'll go through them as the press conference goes on. But it's been magnificent, and the ticket sales have gone through the roof. It's great to be back in Manchester. It's a great fight town. You know, I've got happy memories from here over the years, being involved with various boxers from the area. But everybody's come out for this. Ticket sales, as I say, have gone through the roof. In fact, we sold more tickets for this than they did for Lennox Lewis versus Oliver McCall, Lewis versus Derek Williams, Botha, Henry Cooper even against Joe Bugner, and also Cooper against Billy Walker. That is amazing when you look at this and you look at those legendary fights. Yeah. So this is going to be something special.
It definitely is, Frank. And look, Joe Cooper, maybe one day soon. He's on the come up.
Cooper's on the card.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm getting Cooper's next.
He's certainly on there. And listen, we've done plenty of tickets, as Frank said, and one of the contributing factors is a man sat at the end of the table there, Nathan Heaney, who's a bit of an Albanian king. I understand he's done over 1,000 tickets for this show. Frank, just a word on Nathan Heaney before we chat to him. He's coming to make a mark, hasn't he?
He is. I mean, he's got a tremendous following amongst his community, and we're delighted that he's on board, and it's been lovely working with these people. Really nice people to be working with, and he's out to make a name for himself. He wants to make his appeal bigger than his community, and he's got the platform to do it on Saturday. No doubt about that.
Absolutely. Well, let's speak to Nathan Heaney. I was there for your first fight in the UK, which was your last fight at York Hall. Destroyed Bracamonte in just 2 rounds, and you said you want to be on the big shows. Here you are. How do you feel?
Thank you for this. First of all, I want to thank Mr. Frank Warren for this possibility, and all the Warren family. And for me, it's my pleasure to be here in this very big show. And I think, and also I want to thank all my supporters from all the world that come from USA, from all Europe, from Albania, to come to support me. And I think and I hope we will do big things after this fight.
Well, actually, after your last fight, you called out Derek Chisora. Now, you didn't quite get Derek Chisora, but you made it onto his card as well. Are you looking to make a bit of a statement and get these big fights?
Listen, we are boxer. I have a big career. I have more 20 years of career. So for me, I want to fight all the big opponents that is possible to fight. I want to show the world who I am. I am the first Albanian medalist in amateur boxing, and I am a first Albanian European champion. So I want to go ahead. I want to go the first Albanian world champion.
Well, best of luck to you, Nelson. We look forward to it. Expect plenty of noise on Saturday night. Nathan Heaney,
thank you.
Back in the UK, and he's got some big plans. As has the next man that I'm going to speak to, Zak Parker. He was meant to be in action on this show against Willie Hutchinson in a brilliant crossroads fight. Unfortunately, Willie Hutchinson had to pull out, but Zak Parker remains on the card. Zak, tell me what this week's been like in terms of, not knowing whether or not you were going to fight. How disappointed are you? It's not Willie Hutchinson. How excited are you to still be fighting?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to obviously my team, BCB, Neil Marsh, and obviously Frank and Queensberry for keeping me on the show, because without you guys, I wouldn't be putting food in my family's mouth. So yeah, really appreciate it, and I'm buzzing to still be boxing, and definitely got a lively opponent as well. French lad were 121 and knocked 18 out, so I've got to be on it. It's a potential banana skin, so I've definitely got to be on it.
So what's the plan for 2025? Because as you say, it's no easy opponent that you've got. You've got to keep your eye on the ball, but you must have an idea as to what you're going to do this year.
Yeah, obviously, Willie pulled out. What he says is an injury, so yeah. I was going to fight him, win that, and then push on to world honours. I want to be fighting these big lads now, and this is just another step close to what I want to do and box for world titles.
Well, let's bring in promoter Frank Warren. Frank, disappointing that we lost the Willie Hutchinson fight, but great that Zak's still on ahead of a big 2025.
It is, and last year was a bit of stop and start for him, and for various reasons. But look, he's a cracking fighter, and he's settled down now at this weight. It's a shame, as you say, that Willie was injured and out, but we've got in a great tough fight for him in Diallo. He's a tough customer, and Zak's going to be at his best, and he's got to make a statement. He's in a very sexy division at the moment, and it's up to him now to show what he's all about. He's had a couple of problems in the past with injuries in fights. Hopefully that's all behind him now. I know he's a true professional. I know he's got ambition. He's got a great team behind him, and I expect him, hopefully, to come through this fight and then move on to even bigger fights. He needs to be fighting for a world title this year, no doubt about that.
That sound good to you, Zak?
Defo does. Obviously, coming out of Frank's mouth as well, I really appreciate the confidence in him, and yeah, that's what I want to do, push on for world honours. I feel really good at this weight. That extra £7 is obviously a lot, and I'm defo feeling really strong and proper going into this weight now. So yeah, really looking forward to fighting this on Saturday and then pushing on to see what we can do next.
Great stuff. Best of luck to you, Zak Parker, Saturday night in action. Well, let's move to the featherweight division. And, well, over the years, this has been one of the best divisions that we've had in the UK. We've got a world champion right now in Nick Ball. There's been world champions in the past from these shores. You look at the likes of Josh Warrington, Lee Wood. There's been so many. And what we've got on Saturday night is two fighters who are looking to one day become world champion. You've got an English champion against a Commonwealth champion with the addition of the British Featherweight Championship on the line. Masood Abdullah takes on Zak Miller, local hero Zak Miller, who I'm sure you'll make plenty of noise for when he does start speaking if the workout's anything to go by yesterday. And I'll start with Zak here. I mean, I've been following your Instagram, you and Jack Rafferty here. You look like you've got about 48 abs between you. You look absolutely ready for this, for the biggest fight of your life.
No, yeah, we're ready, and I think this is the furthest I've been away from Jack in about the past 3.5 months. So
yeah, feels a bit weird.
Got a bit of withdrawals from him here, but no, yeah, we've had a great camp. I've watched a bit of Masood at the start of camp, and then I've been very, very selfish. I've gone to the gym. I've focused on myself. That's what you've got to do. I know what I need to do, and Saturday night I'll be getting in there and doing it.
So what are your thoughts on your opponent here? He's got a bit of a knack of stopping guys that don't get stopped. Cass Ashfaq, Mark Leach, they were fine. They'd never been stopped. Suddenly they get in with Masood Abdullah. They can't go the distance with the guy. He's a serious fighter. Yeah,
you've got to be a good fighter to be at this level, but the names that you've just said to me there, I don't believe that them fighters believe Dave was going to win that fight. They've gone in there as beaten fighters. I 100,000,000% believe I'm going to win this fight, and that's what I'm going to do Saturday night. It's different than the last time I boxed for a British title before. I'd never gone past 8 rounds, never boxed past 8 rounds, never been scheduled. I'd never won a title, never boxed for a title. I jumped in there and you seen what I'd done that night. Since then I've been back in the gym. I've won an English title against an unbeaten fighter, and I put myself back in this position. And like I say, I've been selfish. I focused on myself in camp. And yeah, I'm more than ready.
Well, let's hear from Masood. Masood, you have been talking about the British title for a little while now. Now you have the chance to add that to your belt collection. But you've got an opponent here who says he is 100,000,000% ready and 100% believes he's going to win this fight.
I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to believe in yourself 100%. Just like I believe in myself 100%. Zak has done really well to put himself in the position for the British title. So have I. That's why I think this fight will be good. Unfortunately for him, I want this title and I will get it. So it's just another thing. He's just in my way. I'll knock him out. Done.
That's it. We'll see Saturday night. We're both prepared. We're both ready. I believe it's the best fight on the card. But there's only going to be one winner, and that's Zak Miller. Let's all the boys.
Masood, let me just ask you this. At the workout yesterday, you were doing your workout, as all the fighters were, and you ended up having a bit of an exchange with some of Zak Miller's fans. They were kind of taunting you. You ended up going back and forth with them. I guess that could be a taster as to what could come on Saturday, a hostile crowd. He's the Manchester man.
Nah, man, they can't do anything. They're not going to help him out. They're not going to protect him. They can't do anything for him. In fact, I actually took the photo with the guy that was being a little bit mouthy. Again, they're just nice people. They're football hooligans, aren't they? They just want to have a good time. That's it.
At the end of the day, it don't matter, does it? Me and him are going to be in there. They can't fight for us. He can't fight for me. No one of these fans can fight for him. We're going to have a fight, and that's it.
Exactly that.
Nicely said, both of you. They're certainly going to have a fight. Frank, they are going to have a fight. Featherweight division is on fire right now, and these guys coming up.
It is. You left Naz off that list, by the way. It's always been a real great division for British boxing, no doubt about that, and world boxing. But this fight's got fight written all over it. I mean, it's two guys who believe in themselves. You know, take your hat off to Maz. He's coming into your backyard, and I respect him for that. But you know, this is going to be something special. There's no doubt about it. Zak believes in himself. Maz believes in himself, and we will get, I believe, something special on the night between the two of them.
Okay, let's move. Best of luck to both of you, gentlemen. Let's move to the super lightweight division, where in Manchester, I mean, they do pretty well with super lightweights. Ricky Hatton dominated the world scene for so many years. We've got two guys here in Jack Rafferty and Rhys McMillan coming off the best wins of their career and now colliding with so many baubles on the line, the British, Commonwealth and WBC International Silver Super Lightweight Championships. Let's start with Rhys McMillan. And Rhys, I was going on YouTube trying to find old interviews of you. You don't do too many, but one I did see was years and years ago, and you were asked, what are your goals in boxing? You said, I want to become a British champion. You get your chance on Saturday.
Yeah, thank you, Dev. I just want to thank Frank Warren and Queensberry for this opportunity. Like I say, yeah, it's always been my dream to fight for a British title, and there's two other belts on the line, so it's an even bigger night for me now, and what a platform to be on.
It was a bit of an upset last time out. You beat Kane Gardner. I don't think you were expected to win that fight, but you came away with the win. How confident are you that you will get the win on Saturday night?
Like I say, we've prepared the best we can. Obviously, Jack's a very good fighter, but Saturday night I'm coming to show what I'm about. Like I say, hopefully cause upset again.
Well, let's bring in Jack Rafferty, defending British, Commonwealth. Look at all these belts.
Very nice.
My goodness. You're doing so well, and you're flying high, coming off that career best win against Henry Turner. What's it like being a champion now? You've got the target on your back. This man's coming to take all of those belts.
Yeah, it feels good. There's no more, there's no pressure. I'm signed to the best promoter in the world. Prepared well. Yeah, Rhys is in the way of my future. You know what I want next, what I'm pushed onto. So Saturday night, I'm ready for it.
Excuse me.
Listen, I'm always told sparring's sparring, but you have sparred. Did you learn anything from those spars that's going to help you on Saturday?
Rhys, I know what Rhys is. Rhys knows what I'm about. I know what he's about. He's a dog. He's tough. He caused an upset last time. Both coming off career best performances. Listen, it's going to make a cracking fight. He's got no pressure on his back and loads to win. I think that's a dangerous fighter. I think he's in a great seat, but I'm in the driving seat and I'll be in it as well.
Just how much noise are you expecting on Saturday, Jack?
I hope you've got some earplugs.
Because you and Zak Miller between you, I know you've got Manchester behind you, haven't you?
Have we? My friend, they are involved.
Yeah, no, it's quality. There's two of the finest boxing gym lads here fighting for the British and Commonwealth. What else do you want? Like I said, I'm sat next to Nathan Heaney and Frank Warren. What else do you want on a Thursday? It's mint. We sold plenty of tickets. There's going to be a Rafferty army. There's going to be a Miller army, and there's going to be two British and Commonwealth champions from the finest boxing gym on Saturday night.
Yes, I.
Come on, the boys.
Yes, I.
Frank, let's bring you in here. I mean, the 140-pound division, Manchester, it's a familiar story, right?
It is. I mean, we've had some great experiences in the past in that weight division, but these guys have both done it the hard way, and I respect them for that. And now they've fought through the small halls, got to where they are now, and they're on the big stage. So the winner of this fight, they got it all to gain, because the winner will have us behind them, pushing them for bigger and better things. So I'm sure we're going to get a magnificent fight again from the both of them. It's a great match, and the fans will win again. Yeah. I know you Manchester guys all want him to win, but he ain't coming here to lay down either. So it's going to be an excellent fight, no doubt about it.
Best of luck, Jack. Best of luck, Rhys. Brilliant fight on Saturday night. 3 belts on the line in the 10-stone division. OK, let's move to the return of the hitman, a man who knows Manchester very, very well. Nathan Heaney, November 2023, realised a bit of a dream and became the British champion right here in Manchester. He's coming back now, and he takes on Sofian Karti here, who I'm going to come to first. In a brilliant fight for the WBA Continental Middleweight Championship on Saturday. And Sofian, let me bring you in. What are your thoughts on this fight? What are your plans for Saturday?
Qu'est-ce que tu penses sur cette combat et c'est quoi ton plan pour samedi soir? Alors, déjà bonjour à tout le monde. Bonsoir à tout le monde. Je prends tous les combats, chacun comme il vient. Je n'ai aucun plan stratégique. Je suis là pour boxer, faire 10 rounds de guerre, 10 rounds de bagarre. Et c'est ça ma stratégie.
He takes every fight as they are. He doesn't really have any plans for this fight strategically. He's promising that he's going to bring 10 rounds of war, 10 rounds of battle, win any way necessary.
What would a win mean to you, Sofiane?
Une victoire, ça veut dire quoi pour toi? Une victoire, ça veut dire quoi pour moi?
Ouais, sur samedi.
Une victoire pour moi ce soir? Ouais. Ce serait incroyable, amazing. Ce serait magnifique. Et c'est ce que je vais aller chercher samedi soir.
He's going to go search for it Saturday night. It'll be an amazing feeling, incredible.
Okay, let's hear from the hitman. Nathan Heaney, you've just heard from your opponent there who's promising 10 rounds of war. I mean, you're no stranger to that, and I see the tash is back just like it was when you won the British title here in Manchester. What's on your mind?
Yeah, well firstly, I'm glad he's speaking French, because when I saw him earlier, I shook his hand and I made a bit of small talk and I said, "Did your flight arrive yesterday?" And in perfect English, he said, "I'm sorry, I don't understand you, bro." And I was thinking, he must be taking the piss with me. But look, he's being legit, very good English, that was mate. But now I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great fight. He's a very, very good fighter. The French champion had a very good win against Gary Spike O'Sullivan in 2024. He's just stopped his last opponent in December, so he's on the back of a good run. So I'm expecting a very good fight.
And for you, the WBA Continental belt is on the line. It's a belt that you are familiar with. You've had it in the past. I guess you want to get back in the win column and get back on your road to world titles.
Yeah, it's just getting back into that top 15 in the world. I was previously 4th in the world with the WBO, and obviously highly ranked to the WBA as well. So, yeah, that's the most important thing. Get back into those world rankings and then make some massive nights.
How many tickets have you done? Did you keep all the support? Because it feels like the Stokies would never desert you.
Yeah, no, yeah, they were phenomenal. Like, this is, like, I'm on the back of a loss, but by the 27th of December, I'd sold 1,600 out. Like, the 27th of December, that just shows you what the city of Stoke are doing. And, like, in terms of the support for me as well, it's phenomenal. And it's just going to be, it will, I know Chisora is the headliner, but it's going to be the Stoke show, because it always is every time they take over the place.
Prediction?
Just do what Steve wants me to do. Steve Woodvine, the best coach in the country. And if I listen to him, I can beat a lot of people. So I just need to listen to him, do what we've worked on, and hopefully be the winner.
Frank, let's bring you in here, the return of the hitman.
Yeah, the return of Nathan. He's one of the nicest guys in boxing, and that's proven by the fact of the amount of tickets he sells and the people who stuck with him, he said, coming off of a loss. He's in some great fights. I mean, he lost the fight, but it was a bloody good fight that we was all watching, and that's why people stay with him. And fighting Sofiane, who's the French champion, he's got a good run. It's a competitive fight, and it's a chance for Nathan to re-establish himself, get himself back in the top 10. And with a couple of wins, we were that far away from getting a world title fight for him in Stoke. But he can come again and he can make it happen. It's in his hands, in both his hands, to get out there and show what he's all about. We believe in him. And I expect the atmosphere is going to be brilliant on Saturday with all the fans. And again, this is a real good quality fight, because this bloke on my left is coming to fight.
Thank you, Frank. Best of luck to you, Nathan. Looking forward to your return.
Yeah. No, I just want to say thank you to everyone that is going there to support me. To the Stokies that made the way up today for the media. Obviously the AMB insurance lads as well. Thank you very much, lads. I appreciate it. Thank you. Mirko. Go on, Mirko. Go on, man.
Best of luck to you, Sofiane, as well. OK, well, that concludes the undercard portion of today's press conference. We're going to get some face-offs down the front, and we'll be back very, very shortly for the final UK press conference in the long career of Derek Chisora. Do not go anywhere.
You're right, Zach. Don't be dark. What are we doing now? Oh, right. Let's go.
Well, that was fun. That was interesting. A few exchanges here and there. So many brilliant fights on this show. I'll tell you what, here's Nelson Hysa standing with Frank Warren. Was there for his last fight at York Hall. Took on Bracamonte, the big Argentinian, who usually gives people a tough, hard night's work. And this guy, Nelson Hysa, just destroyed him in 2 rounds. It was a crazy night at York Hall. The Albanians really get behind him. Just like Derby will be getting behind Zak Parker. Unfortunate that it's not Willie Hutchinson, but Zak Parker still gets out, and he's got a bit of a banana skin of an opponent. I think they will formally announce that all very shortly across social media. But needs to be on his A game, Zak Parker. Can't come unstuck to kick off 2025. And what about this fight here? Looking forward to this. Masood Abdullah, the Commonwealth champion. Zak Miller, the English champion. And the addition of the vacant British Featherweight Championship on the line. Not been an awful lot of needle between the fighters, but Zak Miller comes with plenty of fanfare and plenty of fans who are more than happy to goad Masood Abdullah and then maybe take a photo with him, as Masood alluded to at the press conference. That's a brilliant featherweight fight on Saturday night. And I'm expecting plenty of noise on Saturday for this one. Jack Rafferty, the newly crowned British super lightweight champion, that brilliant fight with Henry Turner, taking on Rhys McMillan. These are 2 fighters coming off the best wins of their career, putting it all on the line. 3 belts on the line on Saturday. Jack Rafferty, Rhys McMillan. Plenty of noise expected in Manchester as Frank Warren stands between them. Of course, Jack Rafferty earned himself a signing with Queensberry Promotions with that win. Plenty of support here for Jack Rafferty, a fight that we're very much looking forward to. Here's Sofiane Karti, who'll be taking on the returning Nathan Hitman Heaney on Saturday night. The first time in Heaney's career that he is bouncing back from a loss. He's got big ambitions, big plans, was so close to a big Stoke City dream. And let's see if he can get back on the road to victory on Saturday. WBA Continental Middleweight Championship on the line Saturday night. Okay, well, stick with us. Very, very shortly, we will have the final UK press conference in the long storied career of the great Derek War Chisora. And this hotel that we are in right now is the same hotel that 9 years ago he threw a table at Dillian White. I've not checked the tables yet. I've not checked how secure they are. But stick with us. Do not go anywhere. It could be an emotional one. It could be a violent one. I've no idea what to expect. Stay with us.
No, the prize guy.
You know who reached out to me that wants to do a podcast with you? Al Bernstein. Yeah, he wants to get you on. So. Okay, we'll do it.
I am the best farmer. I'm living off the land. I ride down there from here. I'm looking for a red man. The rain hasn't fallen. The meadows must be blind. And if it don't come soon, my crops will die. The bankman says he likes me, but there's nothing he can do. He tells me that he's coming, but the clouds are coming too. He ain't my friend. And I'll ride again. I'm an American Indian. My tribe is Cherokee. My forefathers loved this land. They left it here for me. The white man came with boats and trains and dirty factories, poisoned my existence with his deed. Nature is our mother. We are sucklings at her breast. He who tries to beat her down will lose her to the rest. They'll never win.
Excuse me. All good? It's a real thing. I love it. I like it.
Show me.
How was it? We went to that party on the night.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 2 of our final press conference for The Last Dance, a great night of championship boxing to be held this Saturday, February 8th from Co-op Live in Manchester, England. It is all being brought to you by Frank Warren on behalf of Queensberry Promotions, along with their great sponsors, Riyadh Season, 32 Red, That Prize Guy, and Unibet. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our main event this Saturday, it is scheduled for 12 rounds, and it is a eliminator for the IBF Heavyweight World Championship. Let's now welcome the participants. First, coming to us from New York, USA, he is a native of Sundsvall, Sweden, and brings a professional record consisting of 27 wins, 2 defeats, 15 of those 27 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the former EBU European and WBA Continental Heavyweight Champion, Otto Wallin. And now let's welcome from Finchley, London, England, his professional record, 35 wins, 13 defeats, 23 of those 35 wins coming by way of knockout. He is a former 2-time world title challenger. Let's welcome Derek War Chisora. And joined by Otto Wallin is his trainer and former 2-weight world champion, Joey Gamache. We also welcome, joined by Derek Chisora, International Boxing Hall of Fame promoter, Mr. Frank Warren of Queensberry Promotions. And now here is your host, Mr. Dev Sani.
Thank you, Thomas Treiber. Let's get a round of applause for Thomas Treiber. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to what is quite simply the final UK press conference in the career of a national treasure. In February 2007, Derek Chisora made his professional debut, and in the 18 years that followed, his story has been one of the most enthralling, entertaining and quite unpredictable tales in British boxing history. Everyone in this room here today has a favourite Derek Chisora moment. Everyone watching this stream has a favourite Derek Chisora moment. Over the years, we've seen him throw some huge right hands. Actually, in this hotel, we've seen him throw a huge table. Whether he's punching, slapping, biting, or even in some cases kissing his opponent, one thing's for sure, when fight fans tune in to watch this man, they're guaranteed two things: entertainment and war. And on Saturday night, he wages war for the final time on these shores against a tough, world-class southpaw here in Otto Wallin, coming from Sweden via New York and looking to write his own story. Ladies and gentlemen, on Saturday night from the Co-op Live in the UK and Ireland on TNT Sports and around the world on DAZN, we proudly bring you The Last Dance, Derek Chisora's final fight in the UK. OK, let's speak to Hall of Fame boxing promoter Frank Warren, and those 18 years, I'm sure they've flown by, right? But what a moment in time right now, sat here with Derek just like you were all those years ago.
Yeah, 18 years ago. It's 18 years ago this month. He made his debut with me, and we've had an off and on relationship over that period of time. Had some good times together, some good fights he's been involved in. I mean, most of the fights that Derek has had have been good fights. That's what you get from him. He's fight all the way through. You know, when he's on the card, you're going to get value for money. There's no doubt about that. And this, for me, is quite poignant that we're here now, 49th fight, the last fight in the UK, that is with Queensberry, with myself, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to Saturday night. I'm looking forward to seeing Derek in action. He's in with a real tough competitor in Otto. He's only got 2 losses. And the 2 losses were to 2 former world champions in Tyson and AJ. He won his last fight, was it for a KO in the first round, I think. And Joey's a 2-time world champion and a really good trainer. So again, as I said about these fights earlier on, this is a good fight. This is a really great fight card. There's no doubt about it. And with Derek, it's going to be something special. And as I mentioned in the press conferences before with the undercard, we've sold more tickets for this than some real big iconic fights that have taken place between heavyweights in the UK. That's the appeal of Derek. That's what he's done over the years. He's built this following up, and the fans come out to see him, and they're coming out to see The Last Dance. And this is a big, big moment in time for him to come through this fight. He needs to win it. He'll want to win it, no doubt about that. And it takes him on then, hopefully, to his 50th fight. And I'll make sure that's his last one. Is that a deal?
Yeah.
Good. So that's where we want to get to. He wants to get to the 50. I was the one who said a few years ago he should have retired, and I've been proven wrong. He proved me wrong, and I suppose in some ways I'm delighted that we're here now, and he's still doing it and still doing the business. And there's another couple of things about this fight now. It's an eliminator, final eliminator for the IBF title. So we've got that tagged to it. So this is great. This is just brilliant. And he beat me for a spin a coin last week. He done me, so you better do the business. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Well, the stakes are high. Let's hear from the Otto Wallin side of the table. Let's bring in former world champion and trainer now, Joey Gamache, and tell us a little bit about Otto Wallin, your man here, how ready he is to, I guess, ruin this last dance on Saturday night and silence that huge crowd.
Yeah, Otto's worked hard. He's a real professional. He knows what he's doing out there. We know we're in with a good fight with Derek. It's a great matchup, but we're going to win it and do what we have to do. I've watched him a lot on tape and studied him, and I remember at first, saying, hey, look at Chisora, it's a good guy to fight. And then, but you watch more and more, and you see more of him, and he's a good fighter. So we're excited about that. They'll bring out the best in Otto, and he's worked very, very hard and smart fighter. We're ready.
Otto's described it as the perfect fight for him. Is that something that you agree with? That's to you, Joey. Yeah. Otto Wallin has described this fight as the perfect fight for him. Is that something that you agree with?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good fight for Otto, style-wise. You know, he's in front of you. He comes to fight, and he's a front-foot fighter, and Otto can fight both ways, and we're excited about that, just seeing that kind of fighter. You know, Derek is going to come. He's going to give everything he has. That's just who he is. And we're going to give everything we have as well and come out with a victory.
OK, well, let's hear from Otto Wallin. Now, Otto, at the launch press conference, you talked about how you know that you're going to go in the lion's den, but you're ready for it. Well, in 48 hours' time, that lion here is a proud British lion in Derek Chisora. That den is the glorious new Co-op Live. How are you feeling so close to fight night?
Yeah, I just want to thank Frank and Queensberry for having me. This is a great opportunity, so I'm really appreciative of it. And it feels good. I mean, I've been on the road before. I'm expecting a tough crowd, but I think it's going to be a good time. I'm ready for this fight, and I have some Swedish people coming also, some Vikings. So I think it would be a good atmosphere, and I'm looking forward to it.
With the various face-offs and interactions that you've had with Derek Chisora in the build-up to this fight, one thing has been quite consistent that he has said to you. He says you've got no dog in you. I've seen this guy, and he doesn't have any dog in him. What do you make of that kind of constant suggestion that Otto Wallin doesn't have the dog in him?
I think it's been working as great motivation for me. Anytime training got tough this time, I just felt like I remember what he said, and I just felt like I'm going to go in there and show him. And it's just been great motivation to just push through those hard moments in training. I think it's going to show on the fight.
OK, let's bring in Derek Chisora. Derek, I'm just keen to know what's going on in your head. You look the part. This is the last one in the UK.
Yeah, all men in black. Yeah, you know, shout out to Nigel for Reform Party. Let's get United Kingdom back. Yeah, so thank you very much for coming. And thank you very much for supporting me in the last 49 fights I've had in the United Kingdom. I really appreciate you guys. Either you write shit about me and good stuff, but I still love you though. And those who write shit stuff about me, I know where you guys live anyway. It's all right now. Yeah, you know, this is a big fight for me and for the Viking. He's not a Viking anymore. He lives in New York. He's in New Yorker now. Wow. Don't know where he's coming out with the Viking. The Co-op Arena, I've never boxed there, so I'm excited about that. It's a good venue. I love Manchester, and I'm buzzing for this fight. You know, it's gonna be one exciting fight. I tell you that now. Do not sit down, because we're gonna drown this guy. We're gonna go hard. I know for a fact he hasn't trained the way I expect him to train for me, so I'm excited. You know, we're going to push it. We're not going to even start. As I said before, I just want to fight. Is that your phone, mate? Hey, mate. Davis. Hey, mate. Is that your phone? Yeah, I'm trying to work here, and I'm trying to work here. Do I come to your workplace and make noise while you're working? No, I'm just asking you. I'm trying to work here. I'm trying to sell a fight, and you're busy taking phone calls. Are you serious? Huh? Stand up, please, stand up. The disrespect you have, boo. Are you serious? Boo. Say that, Gareth. Yeah, like everybody knows my record. Is shit, I know. Anyway, it's alright, man. We love you, bro. Yeah, we love you. Yeah, I know. This guy wrote so much shit about me, but it's okay. Bastard. Anyway, yeah, so I'm excited. Listen, as I said before, before I came to Manchester, my wife said to me, "Just go and enjoy yourself. don't worry about anything. Let's enjoy yourself. It's the week you just enjoy everything about it. And I've been trying to enjoy it because at the same time it's very emotional because I love this game so much. I love the ups and downs of it, the losing, the enjoyment, everything about it. I love it, So it's quite, it's difficult to leave boxing if you're not told to leave it. So I was told to leave it at 50 fights, so I have to leave it at 50 fights. But if it was up to me, I'd have gone 100. No, I'm joking. My leg is shaking, Frank. Be careful.
Yeah, I know. Knee trembler.
I didn't even realize it's the same hotel the table went up until you said it.
Same hotel, 9 years ago.
Wow. 9 years ago. Oh my goodness. Wow. Spencer, how old were you 9 years ago? Do you know?
A little bit older than you, Derek.
Yeah? You see that man next to you 9 years ago, he didn't even know anything about boxing.
Still don't.
You still don't. I really appreciate you guys, for coming down. It's an emotional time for me. I love it so much, So for me and then for Frank, me and Frank had our ups and downs, but, I thank you very much, Frank, for having me back on. Really, it's going to be a pleasure. It's going to be a pleasure in Manchester, the whole build-up to from today, from tomorrow, and on Saturday. So all I'm saying is worth money spent on this fight if you bought tickets. And if you're trying to get tickets for free, you're a bum.
I know a lot of them.
You know a lot of them. Yeah, so if you don't get tickets for free, you're a bum anyway. But anyway, it is what it is. But all I'm going to say to you guys, come Saturday night, my friend there, you're going to know what hit him. Thank you.
Good. We're going to get a good fight.
Let me just ask you this, Derek. Let's get a round of applause, by the way. That was a brilliant. You've done so many of these press conferences over the years. You've looked across the table. You've seen the likes of Klitschko, Hay, White, all these guys, Usyk. When you look across the table and you see Otto Wallin there, what are you looking at, in your opinion? What do you see here?
No, Otto Wallin can play poker. He's a good poker face, but really and truly, I've sat here 49 times, and they all say the same thing. Do you understand? So I know for a fact when I get in there, I love pain, I love war, so I'm excited for it. I would like to see some. The only fighter who's actually stood there toe to toe with me was Dylan. But I don't think he's gonna stand toe to toe. He's gonna run. So that's why we chose a smaller ring. You can't run anywhere now.
Also, let me ask you this:
it's a phone box for real, Frank.
He says there's nowhere to run. What are your reactions to this, and just generally the whole feel of this being fanfare for Derek Chisora, his big occasion? You almost sat there not saying anything. I mean, what are you making of all this?
That's okay. I mean, I like Derek. He's a good talker, so he's probably a lot better at talking than what I am. So he can keep talking here. I do my talking in the ring.
Delicious.
Do you feel like all the pressure's on Derek Saturday?
I don't know. I don't know how he feels, but I think that he has a lot of pressure. This is supposed to be his last fight in the UK, and big arena. And, I mean, I try to not put too much pressure on myself. I just do my work in the gym, and then I go out there and perform.
What kind of work you did in the gym?
A lot of boxing training, a lot of cardio, a lot of weight training.
Oh,
so
nice.
a lot of different stuff.
It was Otto Wallin's birthday. When was your birthday again?
November 21st.
November 21st. I asked him if he had cake. But I'm going to ask you again, after the fight, are we going to smoke weed together, yes or no?
No, I won't smoke.
Huh?
I'm not a smoker.
You're not a smoker?
No.
Oh. That means more for me.
I don't know.
That means more for me.
Left me out.
That means more for me. Yeah. But
is weed legal here?
Who cares, man? We smoke that motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who cares? Legal or not illegal, bro? Who cares? We got some good stuff anyway. But would you have a burger with me? 5 Guys?
I like burgers. I'll take a burger.
Yeah?
Sure.
Okay, good. Because the last opponent didn't take a burger, though. Did George Joyce take a burger?
Me?
No, George Joyce, you don't need meat.
No, I don't need meat.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Derek, when do you switch? When does this go to violence? Yesterday we spoke at the workout and you said, I'll put my violent mode on soon. When does that happen?
Nah, not yet. Not yet. I don't want to scare him away yet. Right now we're such in a, we're in 549. We don't want to go violence yet. No, I don't want to pay no fines. I know Robert Smith is watching this right now, just waiting for me to say some shit. But fuck, I'm not saying nothing. Don't want to get into trouble. He's probably driving a Rolls Royce right now, Robert Smith, with all the money I paid him. Oh man, listen. All I'm saying is I'm buzzing. I'm excited. We shall see.
You've made it pretty clear you're going to fight him. This isn't a boxing match. This is a fight on Saturday. So
He's going to run. He's going to run. Otto, you're not going to run.
We'll see on Saturday.
We see on Saturday. What do you think, fellas and ladies? He's going to run. Put your hands up if you think he's going to run. Put your hands up. Francie, are you not going to put your hands up? Radio Raheem, you're a boxing man. How do you see this guy?
War. I think it's going to be a war. Wallin's coming, you're coming. I think we're both going to get a great fight.
Do you think Wallin is coming?
I do.
Do you believe?
Yesterday, he said he's good for it.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure, but he's sure.
Mate, this is like, Wallin is selling us, like, how can I put it in a way the British people can understand? He's selling it like the Keir Starmer telling us he's going to do everything in that when he gets power, and then when he gets power, he reverses everything, bro. Yeah, so I don't know, man. What do you guys think on this side?
Can we get a mic roaming, please? We're meant to get some questions
what
from
do you
the
think?
press as well, so let's... Who's got a question? Who wants to offer their opinion on Saturday?
Gareth, go on, son.
Gareth A. Davis.
Gareth A. Davis, Telegraph, Talksport.
Oh, wow.
Can I ask...
Oh, wow, Gareth, say that again. Say that again. Gareth Davis, Talksport, Terry Hyder. Go on, say that again, please.
Let me ask a question of Frank, first of all. When you promoted Derek in his 18th fight, when he fought Vitaly Klitschko for 12 rounds and then had a scrap with David Hay in the press conference afterwards, and we had an amazing event afterwards at Upton Park 4 or 5 months later, did you think Derek at that point, violent and volatile, big and belligerent as he is, he'd become such a cult figure in British boxing?
No, I didn't. I mean, I knew he always come to fight. I mean, he's always done that. Every fight he's had, he gives everything he's got. I didn't think he'd be around this long, that's for sure. And he's put in some, really good performances in his last couple of fights, no doubt about that. He has become a favourite of the British boxing scene. The crowds, they like it. They come out for him in a big way for this fight. As I mentioned earlier, he sold more tickets than the fights I mentioned before, and they were iconic British heavyweight fights, and we sold more tickets. And that tells you a lot about this show, this fight. They're all good quality fights, and the main event is an intriguing situation. And I can't emphasise enough how important it is that it's now got this tag as the eliminator for the IBF title.
Obviously, Derek's lost a lot of the 49 fights as well, but he's been in against a modern who's who in the heavyweight division. Joseph Parker twice, Dillian White twice, Tyson Fury 3 times, Vitaly, Usyk. It's incredible, really.
It is incredible, but you look and see some of those fights. Harry lost them. I mean, I can off the top of my head, Helenius, he never lost that fight. He got robbed for the European title. There's been
I'm 12-0.
Yeah, there's been a few. There's been a few fights there that have been very, very close. And even with Usyk, you think the fight with Usyk, for long stages of those fights, he was giving him all the problems he can handle. And that's what he does. You know, as soon as that bell goes, he's going to be in front of you and he's going to be hunting you down. He's not backing off you and he'll be throwing punches. That's what he does. He's not going to fill anybody out. He comes out and lets his shots go.
It's been a privilege and a lot of fun to cover your career, Derek. How do you know, because we sat with you last week in the bathhouse in Grosvenor Street.
Oh, thanks a lot, Frank, for the caveat. Really appreciate it.
We all had
thank you, yeah.
The best pop when you were with us.
Yeah, you know. Thank you, yeah.
Derek, you look in fantastic shape. Your hunger seems to be there. How do you know you're going to be able to walk away?
I am going to walk away. Because Frank Warren and Eddie are going to buy me a nice gold Rolex watch, say 55's goodbye.
I'm going to buy him a Rolex watch. His retirement watch. That'll be his retirement present. And by the way, the bathhouse have asked for those towels back that you.
Okay, we've got another question from the gentleman next to Thomas. Driver, please say your name and ask your question.
Joey Mills from Betfred. A question for both of you. You mentioned there that this fight is now an IBF eliminator. I'm wondering, Frank, is the title fight what you will look to make if Derek wins? And Derek, if not, will you be banging on Frank's door to try and get that one done?
I don't know. We'll see.
If the winner comes through it, that's the position they're going to be in. So that's going to be their choice. It's going to be up to them. It'll be their decision. But it adds a lot more spice to the fight, makes it a more meaningful fight than we started out in the first place. There's now a bigger carrot there for the winner. So that should make that. I think it makes it a better fight. I know that from Otto's point of view, he wants to fight for a world title. There's no doubt about that. And I know that he will be looking to try and get himself in that position. That's what all heavyweights want to do. Or all fighters want to do. They want to fight for the world title. Derek's been there and done it. And for him, it's an opportunity if he wants it.
Yeah, I like money, Frank. They can keep the title. I like money.
Might get your watch.
And I just also wanted to ask, Derek, you said if it was up to you, you'd be going on to do 100 fights. I'm wondering, Frank, is the number 50, the magic number, has that been something that's been driven by you? And what made you come to that decision that that's where Derek should finish?
For me? Yes. Well, I didn't. That was his choice. He said he wanted 55. I said he should have retired 2 years ago. And he proved me absolutely wrong. And here we are now. This is the last fight in the UK for him, the last dance. That's why we're here. That's why everybody's turning out for him. That's why you guys are here. That's why we sold so many tickets. They're here to see him in his last appearance in the UK. And then after that, if he comes through, it's going to be exciting. Whatever happens, it will be exciting. It always is exciting.
Go on, radio. Yeah.
Radio Raheem. Listen, there's a real opportunity here, Derek, for you to, if you are successful on Saturday night, have your last fight, your 50th fight, as has now been stated, as an opportunity for you to have a world championship title shot. Is the important thing to you to have that championship shot? Or as you say, is it the money and the biggest stage? If you had to choose between the two, how would you end this career?
You know what? It's good enough to. It's all right to have titles, you know, but really and truly, in 10 years' time, titles don't pay the bills. I like money. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like cash. You know, this is why you never see me trying to talk about, say, I want to fight for this title. No, I like cash, money. You know, money in the bank. That's it for me. You know, I'm grateful that I'm getting a shot to the world title, but I like cash. Do you understand? So. That is it. Everybody likes cash.
If he fights for the world title, he's got to be for cash.
No, is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Not an amateur, are you?
There you go. Secondly, assuming you continue no matter what happens Saturday night.
No. It's 50 fights.
No matter what.
Yeah.
So the discussion about you and White potentially even happening in Africa, the Congo, potentially on a card with. Turkey Al-Sheikh, having promoted that, and is that something that is important to you, to have a fight in Africa, to be on that card, potentially fight White on that card?
You know what? I want to say this here. For me to go to Congo right now, I can't, because I think you both know what's happening in Congo right now. It's happening in Congo for the last 40 years, you know. There's always war going on. There's always somebody trying to take something, you know, so it's difficult to actually go and set a big fight there and fight there. So for me right now, even down south, Africa, and in places like that, there's problems, there's politics happening. But if there's no politics in Africa, I think boxing would be gone to Africa 2 years ago, 4 years ago. But right now there's so much politics, people are dying, so it's quite difficult to go there for a big fight right now.
Thank you.
Please give us your name and publication.
I'm Shamiso Payne. I'm a part of my own publication. Derek, question for you. You are one of the most iconic boxers in Britain. You're one of the most iconic British boxers ever. We can describe you as much as we want, but how do you think, what kind of legacy do you think that you're going to leave in the sport?
I don't know. I don't write about myself about legacy. I think people write about you for legacy. Like, Frank Warren, you're a Hall of Famer now, aren't you?
Yeah.
In promotion, you didn't ask for that; they gave it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's one
People
of those.
decide your legacy.
Yeah, people decide your legacy. Like yourself, you decide where you're going to put me. Whether I'm in the top 10 or top 15, you never know. I don't know. So.
And you are literally the definition of it's not over until it's over. You embody the warrior mentality. Tell me, what fuels this spirit to keep on going?
Listen, I don't know. It's just the stubbornness in me. Money and plus as well. I was breastfed until I was 5 years old, so.
Tell me what you spun me for this week and done.
No, we're not gonna say about that. It was me and Frank we spent because Frank has never lost a coin toss before. Every time I'm always hearing about Frank losing never lost always winning a coin toss. So the other day, KD and I had a meeting with Frank, and then we're flipping for actually more money, and it was big zeros, big numbers on it. So if I have lost, I'd have lost big money, but I won big money. So that was nice. That was very, very delicious. KD was shaking. KD was shaking, but I had faith in myself. But legacy, we'll come back on legacy. I don't know. Where do you want to put me? Yeah.
Top 10, definitely.
Thank you very much.
Hall of Fame.
Pardon?
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Guys, I was going to ask you a question. Do you remember? Do you remember when the whole thing happened with David Hay?
Yeah.
What did you write on our column? You can't remember. Can you pull it up, please? The column of Gareth Davies when he wrote about me and David Hay. Please pull it up. Yeah, I want to put you on the spot today.
Now you put him on the spot. What did I write?
Yeah, what did he say? You got it? I can't hear. Get the microphone.
Disgraceful Derek Chisora. Yeah.
And what did he put my name on it? Yeah, you see this? You came around.
You changed. You changed. And
you came around.
Frank, do you think, with a serious question, with Derek, I know he's never been a world champion, but he's got world champion attitudes, and he's been, like say, a cult figure in British boxing. Do you think he should be in the Hall of Fame eventually?
Yeah, again, that will be determined by the people who elected for the Hall of Fame. And as you quite rightly just said, he's never been in a boring fight, ever. Gives everything he's got in a fight. And if he gets beat, he comes out leaving nothing in the ring. He leaves everything in the ring.
Still beat you in that snowball fight in Munich, though.
Oh, did you? Did you now? Yeah, Munich was a good time. Any questions?
Any questions for Otto Wallin as well? We've got a fight on Saturday night, and Otto's not said anything for a little while. Any questions for Otto ahead of Saturday?
Otto, so what song are you going to use to walk in?
We see on Saturday.
Oh,
you'll find out.
Viking.
With all this conversation, everyone's directing their questions at Derek. It seems like it's just a coronation for him to finish his career. Are you sat there feeling a little disrespected, a little ignored by the press and the build-up to this fight?
I don't care. I mean, I'm in Manchester, in England, so this is his home. So
I live in North London, in Hampstead Garden suburb.
Okay, my bad. I don't really care about that. I'm just happy that I can show everyone that I'm the better fighter, and the fight is only 2 days away.
There's a potential for you to have a title shot if you win on Saturday night. How important is that to you? And will you wait on that if you're successful, not take any other fights and try to wait to get that IBF title shot?
Yeah, first I just got to get through this fight, get the win here, and then we move on, see the options. But I think that is very important for me. I want to be a world champion. Sweden hasn't had a heavyweight world champion since 1959 with Ingemar Johansson. So it's time for the second one, and I'm doing everything I can to become that person.
Okay, Otto, what is your prediction for Saturday night? I'll ask Derek the same before we wrap up.
I'm going to win the fight, by all means necessary.
Derek, final word to yourself.
I'm going to stop him. I'm going to stop you. Are you watching me on the TV?
Yeah.
Huh? No, I'm being honest. I'm gonna stop him. I believe that you're gonna have to hit me like a truck for me to stop coming. But over that, boy, delicious. I don't care. I am coming. Yeah, I know for a fact your coach has watched me fight, but he hasn't trained you to prevent me to get to where I need to get to. And where I need to get to is to you, and I will get to you either way, and I will get to you. So I'm not bothered, but when I get in the ring, I will come and find you and hit you wherever I want to hit you. You'll see.
All right, looking forward to it. The fight is only 2 days away.
I know, don't worry about that, man. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Should I wrap you up?
Yes, thank you very much to the press that answered the questions. And thank you, Derek Chisora. We're going to get a face-off down the front here. Don't go anywhere.
We'll do the face-off? Yes. So if you chop down there, please. Frank, you're in it. So to the cameras first.
Ladies and gentlemen, this our main event Saturday night from Co-op
Derek Chisora's final
Manchester, England.
UK Fight Week press conference.
Scheduled. It is
Turning
an
into a bit
eliminator
of
for the
a coronation. Derek Chisora
World Championship.
He's got a huge speaker on the floor here. He's brought with him.
Wallin taking on
pumping out some music. This is the Derek Chisora show. But Otto Wallin comes here very confident that he will ruin this last dance on Saturday night. We will find out. Only 2 days to go. Derek Chisora, Otto Wallin, the last dance. Just trading a few words here, and I don't think we've got much chance of hearing, but I would imagine that Derek Chisora is asking Otto Wallin questions, probing, just like he has throughout the whole build-up to this fight. Once again asked him what type of birthday cake he had, if he enjoyed his birthday. It's been fun, but I think before long it's going to switch and Derek Chisora will enter war mode. Let's see who we can grab for a chat. Well, delighted to be joined by Hall of Fame boxing promoter Frank Warren, and Frank, that was fun.
It was, his last ever press conference for a fight. And you think back over the years, it was February, what is it?
2007.
2007, so that's 18 years ago. And it's amazing where all those years have gone, but and he's been a magnificent warrior for British boxing. I mean, we've had some seriously entertaining moments. I've had some frustrating moments with him. I've had my ups and downs, but I think it's sort of quite fitting that his last fight is with Queensberry herself here. And excuse me, This is a good fight, a very good fight. You know, Otto Wallin's not just showing up.
No.
And they got the spice and that massive carrot now dangled before him for an eliminator for the IBF title.
So, look, the stakes are high. What I wanted to ask you, Frank, is that press conference did kind of turn into a bit of a coronation of Derek Chisora, celebrating his moments, what he's got left, etc., etc. Otto Wallin, for large spells, was sat there not saying anything because it was all about Derek. At what point do we need to appreciate that this is a serious fight on Saturday?
Well, it is. I mean, I've just told you what the winner gets into a world title fight, and that's what their fighters are here for. And he definitely wants that. Otto, as I say, he's going to grasp this opportunity literally with both of his hands. With Joey Gamache is a two-time world champion, his trainer. They fancy the job, and it will be a hard fight. It's not going to be no easy job, that's for sure. And Derek's style is what it is. You know, he's going to go out there, he's going to hunt him down, he's going to be throwing his punches, and Otto's told people that he's actually going to meet him head on. So that's going to be quite an interesting scenario. Because one thing's for sure, if that happens, will not go the distance, and it'll be very exciting whilst it lasts.
Well, that feels like that plays right into the hands of Derek Chisora, right? If Otto Wallin doesn't play to his strengths and fancies having a tear-up with War...
Well, I hear that, but he's a younger man, and you don't know. I mean, you don't know in these type of fights. I've got to be honest, I said a couple of years ago he should retire. He's proven me wrong, but eventually it does catch up with you. There's no doubt about that in boxing, and but he's up for it, Derek. He's trained very hard. I know he's trained very hard for this. He believes in himself, and he believes it's his destiny to go on and have 50 fights. And he only gets to the 50th fight, providing he wins this one.
How important is it that he doesn't get lost in the emotion of the occasion? He's talked about even perhaps shedding a tear whilst he's in the ring before actually having the fight. That's a lot.
Listen, he'll be shedding a tear if he gets beaten. And so he's got to just forget about that and focus on what it is. I mean, don't worry about 50 fights. Worry about this 49th fight, because it's the most important fight of his career.
And what about this this carrot that's now been dangled? Fantastic news about it being an IBF eliminator. Derek Chisora's last two fights could be of extreme significance in his career.
Yeah, what a way to go out. I mean, what a way to go out. If you're going to go, that's the way to do it. And you go out at the top. So, and that's what he'll want to do. He's everybody knows who he is in British boxing. He's been a fixture, hasn't he, for the last 18 years on the scene. And he's fought at every level. He's fought everybody who's out there. I can't think of too many people he's not fought. And with Otto, he's the two losses are against two world champions.
Yeah. Two of the best of this era.
Yeah, in Tyson and AJ. So that's no disgrace. The rest he's won. I think he had about 27, 28 fights.
I think this is fight 31 for
31. Yeah, sorry, there you go. So he's a very experienced fighter. This is going to be it will be an emotional fight for Derek, and it's going to be a tough fight for Derek. It's not going to be easy for him.
Will it be an emotional fight for you, Frank? Obviously, you're not throwing any punches. Thankfully, you're not taking any. But this is 18 years.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see him get to the 50 fight. I mean, I'd like to see him come through, win that, and I'd like to see him go out with a bang. And as he said up there, he's, and I said it to him, this will be your lot, won't it, 50? And he said yes, and I hope he sticks to that. I think he might be running for Mayor of London when he were the old Reform Party.
He certainly got his views. He certainly got his views. What's over the years? What's been to put you on the spot a bit, Frank? What's been your standout Derek Chisora moment?
There's been so many of them because he's been so controversial. I think probably the one, the Klitschko scenario, because there was so much stuff going on behind the scenes, unfairly towards him, and that's why I got so angry and annoyed about it at the time. He'd done some silly things, but what was going on behind the scenes wasn't right. And he gave Klitschko at that time the toughest fight he had in 10 years since he fought against Lennox Lewis. I mean, he gave him a real tough fight. So much so, he was on top in the last round of that fight. And then, obviously, the press conference afterwards, it was off at all meetings with him. And David Hay, which turned out to be yet another big moment in his career. Fantastic occasion at West Ham. Big crowd there, and controversial fight, but it was a bloody good night. He lost that fight, but he went out on it, and until he got clipped, there was nothing in it.
Yeah. And that's sort of, it feels like there's always there's an additional line about these losses. There's always something, but it was very close.
Well, look at the fight he had with Usyk. He was in that fight. I mean, he was in that fight until Usyk, like, was it about the 10th round or whatever it was? Until he got back in control of the fight. But he gave Usyk a lot of problems.
Well, that's Derek Chisora. Let's keep the conversation about the heavyweights right now. Obviously, we've got February 22nd coming up. Daniel Dubois and Joe Parker, IBF title on the line. What are your thoughts now heading into this? There's been a lot of chat that maybe Daniel's overlooking Joe Parker.
No, he's not. He's focused on what he's got to do, and he has to be. Joe Parker's on a roll. He's had some good wins. He's a winning fighter, and he's a former world champion. He's got a lot of experience, and he's going to give Daniel a lot of problems to answer. I think Daniel can deal with it, but it won't be. Again, on paper, it's not easy, and Daniel is, again, like Joe's, on a real good roll. His last 3 fights, he's gone in as underdogs in all those fights and won all the fights by knockout. And this time round, he's going in as favourite, so it's going to be interesting.
What are you making of his confidence? He's just a different guy now.
He fancies it. He's found himself, hasn't he? He found himself after the fight he had with Usyk. And I know I don't want to get into all that controversy of what happened in the fight, but after that fight, we spoke about the fight with him, his dad and trainer and Don, and it's a fight that he lost that fight in his head. And his mental attitude has changed, as everybody is plain to see in his last 3 fights.
Matured, confident.
He's matured, yeah. And it's a bit like Derek in some ways, because you have a loss on your record. It's not the end of the world. It's what you learn from it, and where you come through. I mean, obviously they're a different age group. He's only 27, Daniel, and he's a young 27, and Derek's coming. Derek is, let's face it, he's coming to the end of his career, and he'll want to go out on a high.
You forget how young Daniel Dubois is. Remarkable that he's 27. Yeah. Let me keep you on a couple more things in the heavyweight division. Tyson Fury. What can you tell us? Obviously, look, he said that he's retired. I assume that you've spoken a few times since. I can't imagine
what can
you're
I
trying
tell you? He's retired.
Yeah. Look, but I can't imagine you're trying to bring him back. But what are those conversations like? How is he?
I'm not trying to bring him back. I've not even discussed it with him. He's retired, and that's it. If he ever decided, and that's a big if, that'd be his decision to make with his family. I'm certainly would in no way try to encourage him doing that. He's been a magnificent servant for British boxing, one of the 2 best heavyweights of the 21st century. Done it at every level, won world titles in other guys' backyards against good quality fighters. One fighter, the best of his generation in Klitschko. He's done everything that's been asked of him, and he's had a hard career in some respects. Some of the things self-inflicted, and when you look where, when the sort of first time round after he won the world title, the problems that he had, the depths of despair, the boozing, the messing about with stuff he shouldn't mess about with. You look at all that and those terrible suicidal thoughts that weren't far off of. I mean, that in itself is a mountain to climb, and he did that, and he showed what he's all about, his courage, and obviously with the support of his family, and he come through that, and obviously went on to through boxing, which I think was his saviour at the time, which gave him some focus, went on to win and regain the world title. He's been a magnificent servant for British boxing, and he's just got to enjoy himself now. Enjoy himself. He had a tough year last year. Two world title fights.
Training camps.
Three training camps. The cut eye. All those things takes a lot out of you. And he, when you're in training camp, you're not with your family. You're not seeing your kids grow up. He's got 7 kids. You're not seeing them grow up. You're missing chunks of their life. And he's with them now, and he's enjoying himself, and God bless him.
Some things are bigger than boxing, huh?
Well, he's financially secure. He's made stacks of money, and as I say, good luck to him. He doesn't do it. He's a fighting man. If he comes back to fight, And I'm not saying he will, and I've got to be honest, I hope he doesn't. But if he does, it's because he's not doing it for the money. Of course he'd get paid if he did come back. But he does it because he's a fighting man.
Well, we're saying goodbye in the UK to another fighting man on Saturday night.
Yeah. It's like a changing of the guard, isn't it, at the moment with all what's going down?
End of an era, Frank.
It is an end of an era, and you know, there's all the young guys coming through. It's really. I mean, we're blessed in this country of heavyweights. You know, when I started off in boxing, British heavyweights. There were big names, big fights, but none of them won world titles. Every time they went to challenge, they got beaten. The Americans were the most dominant nation. Look how it is now. Take Usyk out of the picture, and we're the most dominant nation.
Absolutely. Frank, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
We will see you tomorrow for the weigh-in, and brilliant stuff today.
Cheers,
thank you, Frank. And thank you. Well, that was history. That was Derek Chisora's final UK press conference ahead of a fight. Emotional at times, fun at times, unpredictable at times. They don't make them like Derek Chisora anymore, taking every moment while you can. Saturday night is the last dance. We'll see you tomorrow for the weigh-in.